If you follow British politics, you might have heard the name recently and wondered, who actually is Peter Mandelson?
Sweet taste of success.
Because depending on who you ask, he is either the architect of modern Labour or the man who keeps accidentally wandering into scandal.
Mandelson betrayed our country, our parliament, and my party.
Did the official security vetting he received mention Mandelson's ongoing relationship with the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein?
So clear. Prime Minister?
Yes, it did.
Let's start in the 1980s. Peter Mandelson begins his rise inside the Labour Party as communication strategist. His mission? To help turn a struggling opposition party into something voters might actually elect. Together with Tony Blair, he helped create the so-called New Labour, the rebranded, media-savvy version of the party that swept into power in the 1997 UK general election. Mandelson was the master of the message, the spin doctor, the political operator. So influential, he earned the nickname, the Prince of Darkness.
They said I was the Darth Vader of the New Labour Party. Isn't that what they say?
But Mandelson also developed another reputation for spectacular resignations and even more spectacular comebacks. He would find himself at the centre of a scandal, leave government in disgrace, then somehow back in power, like nothing had ever happened, again and again. In 1998, he resigned from the cabinet after it emerged he had taken a secret loan from a millionaire colleague.
I wasn't trying to hide anything. I didn't say, oh gosh, there's this loan, should I mention it or shouldn't I? No, I think I decided to keep it secret.
A year later, he was back. Then, in 2001, he resigned again over allegations he helped a wealthy donor with a passport application. He denied any wrongdoing, but the damage was done.
I have said to the Prime Minister that I wish to leave the government, and he has accepted that.
Still, Mandelson has always been good at a comeback.
They underestimated me because I am a fighter and not a quitter.
He later became the European Union's Trade Commissioner. Then, in 2008, during the global financial crisis, he returned to the government under Gordon Brown as Business Secretary.
Raise silence for the Right Honourable Lord Mandelson, Her Majesty's Secretary of State for Business, Enterprise and Regulatory Reform.
At this point, he had lived 3 political lives, at least.
And Peter, the Labour Party has really learned to love you. Thank you for what you do.
Fast forward to 2024. Newly elected Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer brings Mandelson back once more. This time as Britain's ambassador to Washington. The idea was simple. Send a heavyweight political operator to deal with the unpredictable politics of Donald Trump's America.
In my view, as the Prime Minister has said, just shows what 2 countries who trust each other, who are confident in each other and are familiar with each other can do, not just for ourselves, but for the rest of the world who need to benefit from a bigger and better international trading system.
Thank you very much. It was beautifully stated. What a beautiful accent, too. I'd like to have that accent. Thank you.
My mother would be proud.
But Mandelson lasted less than a year in the job. Because among his many connections, one stood out. The disgraced financier, Jeffrey Epstein. Mandelson and Epstein had known each other for years. And newly released Epstein documents showed emails, photos, and over-friendly messages between them, even after Epstein's 2008 conviction. Then, at the start of 2026, came the biggest allegation yet. Emails suggesting Mandelson may have passed market-sensitive government information to Epstein while he was business secretary in 2009. That triggered a criminal investigation by the Metropolitan Police into possible misconduct in the public office.
I think Keir Starmer has shown a catastrophic failure of judgment, and someone needs to take responsibility for that. He's coming up with all sorts of stories about how he's the victim and he was lied to by Peter Mandelson. The fact is, he appointed him despite the security vetting and advice which he had.
Keir Starmer should absolutely resign. He knew that Peter Mandelson was friends with a notorious paedophile.
Mandelson denies any criminal wrongdoing, but the fallout has been huge. He was sacked as ambassador, resigned from the Labour Party, and stepped down from the House of Lords. For decades, Peter Mandelson was one of the most powerful figures in British politics. The strategist behind New Labour, the man who kept coming back. But now the politician once nicknamed the Prince of Darkness might be facing the final chapter of one of the most dramatic careers in Westminster history.